What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got some good news about the One Piece TCG. We've got some fun stuff that's coming, and it's all to do with Saikyo Jump magazine. And if that sounds familiar, it should. Saikyo Jump is a very fun magazine, and frankly, it has been very, very good to the One Piece TCG over the past few years. In fact, I bought Saikyo Jump magazine not very long ago because, well, there was a recent issue of Saikyo Jump. The December issue came with that Kozuke Momonosuke promo, the one where he's a dragon. So obviously I picked it up, but because, you know, kind of had to, didn't I? It's got a promo in. Incidentally, I've picked up all of the Saikyo Jump that got the promos in. So, yay! There's some more Saikyo Jump I need to pick up. The next couple of issues, in fact, I need to pick up because this was shared officially by the One Piece team over the weekend, and this has got some very cool stuff in, so we should have a little bit of a look. Now, we're focusing mostly on next month's issue. That is the April issue, which is releasing on the 4th of March. And there are several cool things in there. For what it's worth, there is seemingly a Vegeta promo from the new Dragon Ball Fusion game. So if anyone's into that, yay. And there's a bunch of One Piece poster art and all of that. No one really cares about that. There is a new Boa Hancock promo, which is being included in the next issue. Now, they've done that annoying thing they tend to do, where they've not given us all the information. They've actually given us some. They have let us have some of the information, but they've deliberately kept it a secret. The Momonosuke promo, the one I showed you a minute ago, when that was teased, because they do this, they basically, one of my favourite things, when I pick up these Japanese magazines, which I do fairly regularly, one of the first things I do is just flick to the next month's issue bit, because they show you what's coming next month, shockingly enough, and it's lovely. And for some of the promos, like the Momonosuke promo, they just showed you the artwork. And give them their due, they always show you the actual artwork, which is going to show up on the card, which is lovely. But of course, that one, they hit a bunch, and it turned out that was a vanilla promo, and you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Why they went and hit it, I get it, fine. Here, it's presumably not a vanilla promo. It's a 4-cost 5,000 power counter plus 1,000. It's a blue card. We know all of this. We don't know anything else, and they've gone to the effort of actually putting a secret thing on there, which seems to be their way of going, look, mate, it's not a vanilla card. It does something, but we're not showing you what it does yet. Ha, got it. Which is a little bit sad, but what can you do about it? For what it's worth, 4-cost 5,000 power counter plus 1,000 is something we've seen before. The OP01 Boa Hancock, 4-cost 5,000 power counter plus 1,000 blue. And you got blocker, and you got Don X1 when attacking or blocking. If you got 5 or fewer cards in hand, draw a card. And then we also got the OP02 Boa Hancock, 4-cost 5,000 power counter plus 1,000. And then when attacking, draw a card, trash a card from your hand, then trash up to 3 cards from your hand. So we have had a couple of cards for Boa Hancock that fit everything that we've seen here so far. We have 2 cards that fit this. So there is an outside chance that when they're saying, hey, this is secret, what they're actually saying is, look, it is a reprint, but we're not telling you a reprint of which one. That would honestly be super disappointing and make me very sad. And look, the artwork here is lovely, obviously. But if they're going, oh, it's a reprint, we're not just telling you which reprint it is, and that's why it's a secret, that would honestly suck, and I would be very sad. So I really hope that's not the case. We have to acknowledge that technically that could be right, because we have got 2 Boa Hancock that are 4-cost 5,000 power counter plus 1,000 blue, which would fit exactly what this new promo is, and maybe the secret is they're not showing us which one they're reprinting. I really hope that's not the case. I don't think it is, but we do need to acknowledge that just quickly. And obviously having a Boa Hancock promo at this stage makes perfect sense. Remember, one of the leaders from Op07 is Boa Hancock. And we've got the super rare Boa Hancock from Op07. And I showed you Salome the other day, which is, you know, the snack who's getting its own card. First ever card in Op07. So Op07 is a bit of a set where Boa Hancock takes center stage. Whacking out a Boa Hancock promo at this stage also makes perfect sense. The leader, if you're wondering, has a skill on your turn once per turn. When a character leaves play due to one of your abilities, if you have 5 or fewer cards in hand, you may draw a card. So it would make perfect sense if this had a way to bump your characters back to your hand. That would actually make perfect sense. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, you know what? Not bad. I kind of get that. That's pretty cool. But that's not the only thing we are getting. With new Saikyo Jump, we are getting a bunch of Don. Next month, we are getting 5 copies of the Monkey to Garp Don. It's Monkey to Garp dragging along Tiny Luffy. And this is awesome. And it does say right there, One Piece card game, Don card, 5 pieces. So it seems to be that you are getting 5 Don. And getting 5 Don in Saikyo Jump, it's not the first time we've done that. This is not the first time we've done that at all. They did this before. In fact, they actually did it 2 months in a row. They did it with the Luffy Don, which you might notice was our first anniversary Don for his first anniversary Don packs. And then they did it with the Yamato Don, which has become like the most sought after Don in the game, and was also part of the first anniversary Don. They did it before, they're doing it again. They were very easy to get in Japan and very difficult to get in English, so please do bear that in mind, alright? Bear that in mind, because these are going to be ones that people are probably going to want to get hold of. Now, what they did previously was actually extremely cool. They did a thing where 2 months in a row you got half a deck of small cards, but actually like proper One Piece TCG cards on decent card stock with card backs and all of that. And obviously over the course of those 2 months, you would then get a complete deck. But then you also got a bunch of other stuff. So you would get, in each issue, you'd get 5 Don cards, half a deck of the cards, and then, you know, one you got a little play sheet and one you got a little deck box. And it was awesome. And then over the 2 months, you got yourself a complete mini deck of cards, or a deck of mini cards, and you got yourself 10 Don, 5 Luffy, 5 Yamato, and then you also got yourself a little play sheet and a deck box. It was awesome. It was one of the coolest promotions I've ever seen from anything. We are not getting that this time around. But in next month's issue, we are getting the Boa Hancock promo, which seems to be a brand new promo. And we are getting 5 copies of the Monkey to Garp Don, which means you essentially have a couple of options here. You can buy 1 copy in a magazine and get 5 copies and keep 1 and trade or whatever the other for. Or you can get 2 copies of the magazine and have a complete Don deck of this Garp Don, which incidentally I think is brilliant and I would highly recommend. Do remember, as I've told you before, Japanese Don is not legal in English events, and as I've told you before, that is just makes no sense. It's completely nonsensical. Nobody, and I've mentioned this in videos a couple of times now, nobody has given me a decent reason why we can't use Japanese Don. Everybody knows what Don does. There's no translation issue here. Every Don is the same, and if you don't want to do it, you've got a reference with your own Don anyway. And it's in a separate Don deck, so there's no issue of card stock, and they're all identical, and it just makes no sense, alright? Let us use Japanese Don in English events, please. That would make me extremely happy. Please let that be a thing. I would enjoy that. Because next month, we've got another 5 Don coming out. Now, this one, the image is considerably smaller, but it looks like you've got a Three Brothers thing going on here as kids and all of that. It's a lovely Don card, all right? I think the Garp one's probably my favourite of the 2. But again, I don't have a great look at this other one, so come on. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But it does actually say quite clearly on there, the Garp Don is the April edition and the Three Brothers Don, and it literally does say Three Brothers right there. And that one does very clearly say May edition, so we're getting that in May. Are we getting something else in the May issue? Like in the April issue, we're getting the 5 copies of the Garp Don, and we're getting the Boa Hancock promo. Are we getting something else in the May issue? Don't know. We will know when the April issue comes out on the 4th of March. And this is a fairly standard thing. They're basically teasing, hey, there is something cool coming in 2 months. We'll tell you more about it later. But this is awesome. Like, you do also get yourselves a Yu-Gi-Oh! Promo and a Union Arena promo. And the aforementioned Dragon Ball Fusion promo. But also 5 Don cards and a Boa Hancock. Like, that alone makes me want to pick this issue up. And then I'm excited for what's happening in May. It is not the same as last time when I'm giving you like a full mini deck or anything like that. But it is the same as last time in that you get 5 Don one month, 5 Don the next month, and hey, now you've got a Don deck of cool Don. Just like we saw last time, it is overwhelmingly likely that we will get this Don at some point. But also remember that last time this happened, our English Don was much harder to get hold of and much more expensive. Whereas, you know what? The Japanese Don, that was super easy to get like a full set of it. It's just not legal for English tournaments, which I think I've made my point about quite clear. All right, that's what you need to know, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's over to you guys. Are you excited about this? Are you going to be thinking about picking this up, or do you just not really care and you'll wait for the English? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Lawasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossie Plays.